But what I don't think most people know is we also have ELO ranking system. It's kind of the chess ranking system behind the scenes, and that number can and will go up and down. So you're not matched in a game based on your ranking. It's based on your ELO score, which is invisible to the player, which may go down or it may go up. So the rank is more a reflection of how long you've played, how much experience you've accrued, not so much a reflection of how awesome you are. That's your ELO ranking.
So basically, it can change either way.
I'm sorry?
So it can change either way.
Yeah, it can go up and down. That's what they're also asking.
Yeah, so your rank that you see associated with your profile won't go down. But behind the scenes, when we do matchmaking, when we look to pair you with other gamers of a comparable level, that's using a different system, your ELO ranking. ELO, some guy's last name. But that's how chess ranking is done.
All right. Players wanting to know, is there anything you can tell us about the team invasion mode other than what we've been told?
We haven't released many details yet, but it was important to us with the sequel to do, both on the same couch, so we had the split screen as well as a cooperative experience. I mean, it's a lot of fun killing guys with your buddies. So beyond that, we're not saying much. It's just you and up to four total, so you and up to 3 friends playing through different levels, completing different objectives against AI opponents. So I'd love to say more, but beyond that, I can't right now.
All right, great. It's Seal2 keeps asking, will you guys be at E3 with the Conduit?
Yes, we'll be at E3. We haven't announced anything official yet, but we will be there.
So you will announce a lot of your stuff on E3?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the marketing PR plan is, but leading up to E3, there's always a lot of announcements, and then we will be there with the build, so you'll be able to see stuff at E3 as well.
Well, how about a trailer? Will there be a trailer at E3 or?
Yeah, I don't think we haven't released video yet, and that's coming sometime soon. So it makes sense to have something at E3, I think. So I would expect it.
All right. So you're not confirming it, but it's a possibility.
What's that?
You're not confirming it, but it is a possibility.
Yeah. I mean, we have to release a video at some time. I'm not exactly sure when, but there'll be something relatively soon, I know.
All right. So, guys, thanks for being here. I don't know if anybody else has any other questions. Let me ask to make sure. But how did you get involved with the Conduit? Like, when did you guys realize this was going to be the project you wanted?
I'm trying to think of dates now. But, High Voltage has been around for 17 years, and we're known typically for doing licensed games. And as our first, original IP, we'd done shooters before. We did America's Army on the 360. We did Ghost Recon on the PSP. But we really thought there was a void there in the Wii market, so that's why we kind of tackled a shooter on the Wii. And yeah, it was just we wanted to make a game that we wanted to play on the Wii, so it kind of evolved from there.
All right, let's see. We have another question from Wolf. We know that most of the Conduit's maps are going to be returning in Conduit 2. Are you reconsidering bringing back the old maps or redesigning any of the old ones to better fit the Conduit 2's multiplayer experience?
There'll be an announcement sometime soon about that, so stay posted.
All right. Let's see. Anything else? Watkins wants to know if you're still using Quantum 3 and will the graphics be better than before?
Yeah, still using Quantum 3, and we still continue to improve it and do a lot of work on it. So I would say yes, the graphics will be better than last time. I think our environments are going to be a lot bigger and a lot more interesting this time around. Conduit 1 was very corridory and corridor, big room. We want to avoid that, so we want to have more wide open spaces. And what's the other thing I was going to say? I forget. Oh, I think just experience, with the team. We learned a lot in the first game. on what the engine and cannot do, and how hard we can push the Wii. So we've learned a lot of tricks along the way, and I think that's really serving us well moving forward. Is we don't have to spend the time trying to get it to work this time or figuring out a workaround for it, but we know how to do it, so we can get it in much more quickly and then polish and make it look great.
Yeah, I got a question myself also. Yeah, I got a question. It's actually basically off topic of the Conduit 2, but it's like how the grinder is. It's basically just I've seen the trailers and all that, and it actually sort of looks like a little bit like I'm not saying like a knockoff, but like it looks similar to the Conduit. Is that technically true?
Yeah, the grinder I'm not real. I mean, it's funny, we have different teams here, and I've seen the grinder. I think they're doing great stuff, but I'm not day-to-day involved with them, so I'm not really sure how to answer that question.
Oh.
I do not have a mustache, by the way. Someone was asking.
There you go.
It would be.
I know. I have a question.
Yeah.
It would be. Yeah. I have a question. I've been wanting to know. I don't know if you guys are allowed to announce it. Or are you gonna have like lobby speak? With we speak instead of just your friends? Is that a thought or a possibility?
Again, that's something we're not quite ready to talk about yet in terms of the voice chat and we speak. We want to support all Nintendo's peripherals, so it's something we're looking at. We speak will be in there, but what exactly we're doing with it, we can't really say much yet.
Let's see. Any others? There's a bunch of questions. I like this one. Roxas is asking, with all the killing sprees, the 3, the 5, all that, do you get such things as like in Call of Duty when you get an airstrike or a nuke, the killing spree bonus?
No, I mean, it's something we talked about, and I think Call of Duty 2 is an interesting one. If you die 3 or 5 times in a row, you get a bonus as well. It's something we talked about, but ultimately we decided not to do anything like that.
All right. Z-Spam wants to know, will we be able to make a party and play on teams in a public Team Reaper? If our friend is a client in a private match, could we join them? I think those are 2 separate questions there. So.
It's not something that's currently supported by Nintendo in terms of their networking solution, but it's something we're discussing on kind of a persistent lobby system.
Let's see. I actually be wanting to know, when you guys were doing the Conduit, when did you get the green light to make Conduit 2? Was that right away, or did you have to wait to see how the game sold?
We started development pretty much right after, so in June of '09. Yeah, I mean, it's the same team kind of rolled right into Conduit 2.
Wow, it's only been 1 year. Doesn't it normally take like 2 years just to make a game or something?
Well, it depends. I mean, it depends on the size of the team and, the budget and the schedule and all that good stuff. But I think the cool thing was, it's essentially the same team, so we knew what we were doing, and we learned a lot of good lessons and read all the reviews and got all the feedback, and it kind of rolled right into the next game. It wasn't like we were working on tech or working on, the controls or, all that stuff was already there. That foundation was there. The multiplayer was already working. So there were a lot of things that normally you have to tackle in the beginning of a project that weren't there for us.
So basically you had like templates ready, already ready for you, basically.
Yeah, engine was there, tech was there, super strong foundation was there, so we were able to very quickly and easily build on top of that.
How about sending messages to your friends or invites? Is that a possibility or an idea?
Something we've talked about, and again, we're not quite ready to talk about that. A similar system to Xbox Live or PlayStation Network is something we're very interested in doing. Whatever we can do to make it easier for players to find each other and connect to each other is something we're fully supportive of.
I know Boxes is chock full of good questions today. How about the waiting time for the match? Is that fixed up? And what about the spawn glitch where you just get stuck there?
Spawn glitch is totally fixed. yeah, that's the one issue we wish, wasn't there. I apologize. It's made a bad experience for a lot of folks, but that's definitely fixed. What was the first one?
How long did that take?
Oh yeah, the matchmaking. How long is the time?
Well, that's something we're talking with Nintendo about, is improving our matchmaking time. We're on Nintendo servers using Nintendo's networking system, but that's something that they're very interested in helping us to support, so our connection times are faster.
All right, well, we're nearing the end of our show here, so everybody listening in, thanks for all the questions. Thanks, Josh, for showing up. Just wanted to say,
my pleasure.
Big time thanks. You're making a lot of people happy, and you're showing your fans you care. And it's like something many companies don't do nowadays, and I'm really thankful for that.
Cool. Yeah, we love the fans, and that's why we're here. That's why we do what we do. So we'll be back on I'm sure Drudge Watch and other episodes. I think the cool thing we can do is we have different team members hop on and chat about kind of their piece of the puzzle. Tony's our animator, so he does all the reloads and all our weapons and all that cool stuff. So we might have some very cool comments to make on that, and we can get a bunch of different people to talk about, what they do on the team, which I think fans might be interested in.
Well, there you go. Once again, many thanks. We hope to see somebody in the next Drudge Watch, and I hope to have you guys, the listeners, the gamers, come back in the next episode. Josh, you want to leave us with any thoughts or ideas we can think about, or like a word that'll confuse us?
I'm sorry, I'm really having trouble hearing.
Oh, I'm sorry. If you want to leave us on a thought, saying or a quote, anything.
Haunted house, and I'll leave it at that.
Haunted house. All right, guys.
No one knows what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about, but our listeners don't. So,
let them
you guys have that to think about. All right. Thanks for listening to Drudge Watch,
and just think about it, and next time you show up, just see if you can try cracking that code.
There you go. So think about that, guys. We're ending the show now. Thanks for listening to Drudge Watch. We hope to have you again sometime. And once again, many thanks to Josh Olson. Later, guys. Happy fragging.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
See ya.